Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and get started. It is calling the meeting to order. It is 6:30 right now, and we'll go ahead and jump right into item number 2, and this is a roll call. Paola?
District 1 Alderwoman Ana Carrillo.
Here.
District 2 Alderman Richard Hughes.
Here.
District 3 Alderman David Emery.
Here.
District 4 Alderman Michael Rodriguez.
Here.
And District 5 Alderman Matthew Martinez.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of number 3, the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States. Actually, while we're doing this, I want you to think of our girls. We got our girls' Little League team, softball team that is playing right now in Georgia. So I know they had a chance to do the same thing. So think of them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Lots to remember, both locally and nationally. So thank you for that. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 4. This is Citizens to be Heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the City Council on any issue, any item on the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City Council may not discuss any presented issue, nor may any action be taken on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion, JC 0169. Zach, did you say we don't have anybody signed up? Okay, I still will go ahead and give the chance. Going once, going twice. All right. Paula, if you can please show on there no comments on item number 4. And we will go ahead and move on to item number 5, consent agenda. A, consider the approval of the minutes of June the 9th, 2025.
Mayor, I'd like to start out by making a motion to approve the meeting minutes presented for June 9th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second, Richard? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas, thank you. Motion carries forward. Let's go ahead and take care of our next one. B, consider approval of the payment of the bills.
Mayor, I move that we approve the payment of bills as presented in the package.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You have a second? Okay, thank you. Okay, discussion. Anything on there?
Can you elaborate on the Friendly Associates, the 3400?
Yeah, so that is the CIP update that they're doing for us as a part of that project
Okay.
that we had issued a task order for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to recognition of city employees, item 6A. And this is going to be Public Works and Police Department. We'll go ahead and take care of them. Great opportunity to do this. And it's an honor to be able to do this. So let me go ahead and get Public Works. Come on up. Come on up. Get everybody together. Do that. Okay. I'll give you there. I'll give you the first one. Pass those out. Richie. There you go. Man. Good. David. All right. And then you got one for Louis. Come on over here. Once you get here, come on up. Once you take the photo, we'll just need to have them open. We can just flip them over and just have them like this. Kind of like that. We do that. But before we do that, I just wanted to go ahead and take the time. I think the council also would agree. So for those of you just understanding the background on this, last Tuesday, we actually had a situation where traveling southbound on I-35, we had an oak tree that fell down and blocked both lanes going southbound. Now, a little history with that, it was before the freeway was built, there was 2 big oak trees I found out from those that were working before that. And one of them was actually taken down. And, it wasn't so fun because it got taken down. It was a beautiful tree, but they actually took one down to build 35. And the other one they left alone. It kind of stood between what used to be a rest area or a picnic area. Richie and I figured that out. It was a picnic area. And then the old highway 81 now 35 on there. So it's been there ever since. Out of the blue, we just decided to go ahead and come on down. And when it came down, not only the blockage, I think it hit a vehicle. Luckily, no injuries, anything happened with that. But it literally created a blockage. And all the traffic was getting diverted on the frontage road. Everybody was trying to get some way around it. The backup ended up going all the way to 1604. That's how far it backed. Now, the only thing that kept it from being able to get all the way into San Antonio with a backlog was basically these folks right here. Because when the call came in, we were waiting for TxDOT. I love TxDOT, but sometimes their reaction time is a little bit slow trying to figure it out. Is it this county, is it that county, who's supposed to? So PD arrived on scene, took control of the situation. Really appreciate it. I saw Matt out there in a sense, Richie telling me. David was just trying to figure out which way. We diverted some traffic back on 35 just to kind of keep it moving at the same time. And then during that time, here's Public Works. Showed up with the right type of equipment, went out there, see this one? With the right type of equipment, and they literally started taking the tree down. PD, Matt, thank you for helping out, just being able to, hey, do this, try this, and these guys just having the actual backhoe and being able to take care of that, big fun. You were going at it. I saw some photos of you guys actually out there with chainsaws, pulling and doing everything. I think you got a hero shot on top of one, right, Austin? Something like that. And their speed, too, just being able to take care of stuff. I mean, it was just an unbelievable thing. And here TxDOT shows up. Two guys, two trucks, no nothing. Okay. These guys literally opened I-35 southbound. If it wasn't for them, we would have actually been in the worst case scenario. I think I heard that some places, depending on how they were going, it's a couple hours.
Yeah, they actually hit another tree as well on the access road, and one came over right before the leaving and pushed it back off because they considered it a tree on the access road as they were getting off, and it actually was kind of into the roadway. So Bear County deputies, they were on one end, we were on the south. But I'll tell you, I'm going to throw this in there. We were doing what we did. I mean, it wasn't anything special for us. We're used to working on the interstate. I mean, but the Public Works guys were like a well-oiled machine. I don't know if I've ever said that all the time. I've ever listened to it. But I mean that bad.
Special for that one.
I mean to tell you, I mean, you'd have thought they were like some emergency response team. I mean, they got out there. They were, water went on it. They were unloading equipment. They brought the broom. They swept the roadway. It was like some sort of competition thing. It was like I was in shock. So it worked out. They really were out there because that's not their element of interstate. Traffic on the other side going 70, 80 miles an hour. And 18-wheelers getting off and cars, people not paying attention. And with 2 or 3 Bear County deputies, luckily kind of helping on that end. So they were, I told them, I called them on Public Works there. They're really out here kicking it. I was really impressed. They worked together so quick, such a team. It was really
Well, we appreciate it, and the least that we could actually do is be able to provide some sort of certificate of recognition for your contributions. Because, you all defined who we are. It was, by the way, this was not in the city limits. This was not our area of responsibility. We do have a responsibility to respond in case, but it is totally belongs to somebody else. And these folks basically stepped in and said, you know what, this is above us. This is something more important, and we're going to be able to take care of it. And they jumped right into it and did it. So, small token of appreciation. So, with that in mind, if you guys can fold this, and if I can get council to stand up behind, so we can take the photo. And then certificates is for the outstanding achievement of handling the I-35 emergency road situations on the 17th of June, 2025. So stand right here? Can we fit right there?
Might have to go back further.
All right. Thanks so much. There we go, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you for your leadership, man. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
Excellent
your
work.
skills. Taking care of business. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you for your leadership too. Appreciate it. Thank you. You need Alex. You'll take care of him? Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. And let's go ahead and move on to item number 7. And this is a public hearing. And let's go ahead and show it is 6:41. Paula, go ahead and annotate it on there. And it's A, conduct a public hearing concerning a final plat of those Uriales subdivision being 1.33 acres out of survey number 512, abstract number 309, J.B. Gottleman, original guaranteed, City of Lido, Atascosa, Texas. This is just for the public hearing, not for the action. This is for anybody in the public that needs to say anything about this. Okay. We didn't have anybody signed up. Yep. And I'll go ahead and just ask anybody one more time. Okay. So Paula, if you can go ahead and mark on there, 6:42 p.m. Let's go ahead and mark closed, no comments. And we'll go ahead and move on to the action item. This is item 8, open session. Take action on items discussed. A, consideration and possible action concerning the final plats of those Los Uriales subdivision being 1.3 acres out of survey number 512, abstract number 309, J.B. Gottleman, original guarantee, City of Lido, Atascosa, Texas. Zach.
Mayor and council, this plat you've seen a couple times, once for the preliminary plat, and then the second time, I think, or maybe at the same time, for the variance that was approved for Lot 2 and the width along the Oak Street. And so this is now the final plat in front of you this evening. We did have Planning and Zoning conduct their meeting, and they are recommending approval of the plat as well as it is presented this evening. I would like to make one note is based on previous history with some of the other plats that we've dealt with, especially recently, and the location of water meters and access. It doesn't show it on this particular one, but I did have a conversation with Howard Surveying earlier today. And they, before, if approved, they'll make the adjustment on that slightly to make a note that the water meters will be in the right of way of Oak Street as well as the access off of Oak Street, just so we're being consistent with how we've treated some of the other plats.
Good.
And so it doesn't show it again on this one, but they will make that notation, and we'll make sure that it's on there before we sign off on the plats. So,
Okay. Council?
Yeah, I move that we approve the final plat of the Los Uriales subdivision as specified in this agenda item.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. I have a second? Okay, thank you, Matt. I have a second. Any further discussion?
So one of the requirements was to be notated that on that keyway or the flagpole, that was to be driveway only. I don't see any locations.
yeah, so that was a conversation, and I'll make sure that they add that in the notations that they're going to add. Yeah, it's not on there. That is correct.
Also, is that good enough?
Do we need to get an amendment or?
So that whatever gets approved on the plat.
Okay, so the
Right, so
utilities.
currently, it's not on there. So I would like to have that at least amended to the motion.
Okay, and then,
Okay, I'd like to amend my motion to include a notation be added to the final plat designating the driveway area as driveway only.
the second. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Any further discussion? No? Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
So that was the vote on the agreement. Now you have a motion to give that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
You don't need motions again.
No.
You just need a vote, right?
You don't know, you need you have a motion and your second.
Yes.
So we have-
It's just the vote again.
so you ready? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. There we go, Zach. We're good, ma'am?
I guess so.
You're good. You're good to go. Okay. Yes, ma'am. We'll just work with Howard Survey just to make sure that we include all that. Brad, thank you for being here for any questions or anything that came up. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to B. Consideration and possible action concerning the abatement of substandard dangerous structure located on 14852 Main Street, Lytle, Texas 78052. Zach.
All right, so Mayor and Council, during the special meeting held on May 28th, Council conducted public hearing and voted, obviously, to move forward on issuing a order of demolition for the property located at 14852 Main Street. The order is basically 30 days from that date and the publication for them to take care of it. If they do not take care of it, then we are able to step in. As suggested at that meeting and discussed, the attorneys asked us to basically bring it forward to you again at that time. We're about 4 or 5 days, obviously, from that 30-day deadline instead of waiting all the way until July 14th when our next meeting was. We figured let's get it on here this time. I did have the police department go by today, not get on the property to take pictures, but taking it from the right of way. And obviously, as you can tell, and I'll allow them just to go around that, they obviously are, the structure is still there and in really the same condition that it exists. So obviously, if we hit the 30-day deadline, then we obviously want to continue to have that approval to go ahead and take care of it ourselves. Staff, I guess myself, I've gotten 2 of 3 contracts already, or quotes, I should say, for demolition, and I'm waiting on that third one to move forward on who ultimately will be the company selected to demo and making sure that all that, as per Councilman Rodriguez, is really documented in the file as was discussed last time. So obviously,
And I would just add, there's not been any evidence that Zach or I am aware of with any other forced demolition, or is there any permit? Well, you need a demolition permit before you start action.
Yeah, no context, no nothing.
Nobody's reached out.
Nope. No, and it was posted as required in the newspaper, as well as sent to the property owners. So,
So none of those facts change now. Or is, 38 is up, but go ahead. The party order says-
Yeah.
So we just need a motion authorizing Jack.
You don't need to do anything right now. It's built into the motion that if it's not demolished within 30 days, the city can undertake that work. So this is more just to update y'all.
Oh.
Just to add to the file.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. And the day they go out there, I advise I can take one picture and show. how it's
Sure.
changed. That way we can say
Thank you, David.
There was no effort in demolition.
So at that point, we'll come back and say, hey, this is what I have, here's the quote I got.
So the direction was last time that that staff was going to take care of the 3 quotes. There was no need to come back to council for that. So as long as it's under a certain threshold, we don't have purchasing requirements and those kind of things, or more purchasing requirements, I should say,
Yeah.
than your usual kind of getting the 3 quotes and taking care of the issue. So obviously, as y'all know, this isn't something that was necessarily budgeted, so we'll make sure to find where we can stick that. There would be,
Well, it's just on the budget, I mean, it's technically budget neutral, since the city's going to.
Yeah.
Pass through to or down the line.
A lean.
yes, Yeah.
So,
at some point we'll see the money back.
yes.
Yeah.
So it'll show, at the same time we enter a debit to this contractor, you'll also see it won't be immediate, but a month later you'll see a
unless the person comes along and pays that amount of taxes or anything was if they don't pay it, that's the problem. Village point, somewhere in the books, we're going to figure out how to do that. There'll be a credit somewhere where if you have a lot, it's going to be reimbursed.
Awesome. Any questions to council?
Just for transparency, in the original packet, you made a mention of having the attachments for the updated pictures. I did not receive that. However, it sounds like it's not vital, and if in the future, if you do a redocument on this, if you could include updated pictures.
Yes, we'll do.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next item, which is C is consideration and possible action resolution 2532, a resolution City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and Kimberly Horn, an associate for individual project order number 25-13-003 regarding drainage master plan phase 1, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date. Zach?
All right, so Mayor and Council, staff had an initial kickoff meeting with Kimley Horn to identify the scope of the master drainage plan. And obviously, as y'all recall, this was a priority coming out of the implementation of the stormwater utility charge and ultimate fund that we created. And so Kimley Horn was tasked with this particular project as they were the ones that helped us with the formulation of the stormwater utility fee. And so this task order is for phase 1. It's a little over $50,000 for this particular phase, which is the tasks are outlined in the particular order that was provided for you. And then also included with this item, just to give kind of long-term, big picture, kind of what they envision as far as like schedule going forward, and with payment wise, and you can see at the end what the total costs we're anticipating. But at this point, only this order is just taking care of the 54,000, or that a little bit over that 54. For that project. There are 2 individuals from Kimley Horn here to represent if you want to hear from them at all, but that's what this particular task order is for.
So that was my initial question. So that's just an estimate in Exhibit B.
Yes.
For the overall cost.
Yeah.
And then the 3 definitions of different tasks. When we come to task 2 and 3, are they going to be more defined?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get similar, project orders just like this once we get to those particular sections.
So I'm particularly interested in task 3, improvements analysis and identify problem locations. How will they go about that? Are we going to have citizens input? We know based on drainage, based on infrastructure, where the problem lies, right? However, there may be individual homes that are susceptible to flooding from heavy rains.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if a study could determine that without actual input from the homeowner.
Yeah.
So my question was for the improvement analysis, how would they go about that?
Yeah, I think initially, major scope, we wanted them to identify, kind of areas that we obviously know about, and we went through that kind of initial exercise with them. I think going forward through various steps of here, we're going to have, especially when we identify some bigger projects to take care of larger drainage areas and what that means from an effect, it's going to be a similar process like we did with the Lakeshore drainage study, where we did have some input from residents in that area, and we, obviously asked them to come in and speak to you.
Okay, so we anticipate.
Yeah, I think under this particular phase, you're not going to really see that, but in future, yeah.
Yeah, on task 3, that's
Yes.
obviously where it should be.
Yes.
Good. I just would like to have the citizens have their input.
Yeah.
Because like I said, nobody can better describe what's happening in
100%.
flooded times in their own
100%.
property than the homeowner themselves.
So,
And I think that's a great idea. I think.
come on up. Just introduce yourself real quick.
Hello. Hello, we're here with Kimley Horn.
and we're going to speak on behalf of Deanna Mikulik. She's our lead hydrology and hydraulics engineer with Kimley Horn. She's out on maternity leave, so Luke and I will be representing for the day. So just for phase one, we're just going to be it's focusing primarily on data collection and then also hydrology. So with hydrology, nothing's going to really change much with citizen input because we're mostly just calculating hydrologic parameters, rainfall, using like rainfall data collection. But what we could benefit from is from phase two, if we want to get citizens input involved in like studying particular areas where citizens are kind of more concerned. I feel like that would be a reasonable request, and we can keep that in mind for a later phase. But in terms of hydrology and just doing calculations and getting the quantity of water kind of traveling through these like watersheds, we can receive that input right now, but we wouldn't really do much with it until phase two, and we do hydraulics.
So during your data collection phase, do you determine if it's a business expense, if it's TxDOT's expense? Who has to pay for the improvement?
No, we're not really facilitating where the payment's going. We're just strictly trying to define where our existing issues are and like existing hydrologic parameters.
Because I know in our regulations, it states that if a business builds, obviously their structure, and then they have pavement, for example, and that pavement causes possible problems in the future, then they're held responsible for that.
Mhm.
So this study doesn't do that. It just looks at where the water's coming from and where it has a tendency to flow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're just strictly studying like existing conditions of the watershed, all existing development, and also we're studying future development. So
Right.
in terms of full built out of this existing watershed for Lytle and like Lytle Creek and all the creeks draining through this area, we're just going to do a master drainage plan of all future development, considering everything's built out. What is like the maximum water surface elevation and maximum quantities of water that's going to be traveling through these areas.
Ultimately, you're going to meld in the lakeshore analysis that we did with this report?
Yes, sir.
And I know some of us are aware Adam Street too. Adam Street needs to be taken into consideration. That was one of our priorities too. So please look at that area real closely too. But we'll have a chance. So great point in the sense of being able to get our residents' inputs and being able to do that. If possible, work with Zach and see if maybe we can have like 2 evenings. So in case some folks can't be, they'll have an
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
and that way we can go ahead and collect the information, based inside the city limits. That is important.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
That'd be good. Okay. Council, anything else? All right. If I can get a motion?
Yeah, Mayor, I'll make that motion that we approve resolution 25-32 as written in the agenda item, effective today's date, which I believe is June the 23rd, 2025.
Okay. Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, very important topic, especially since we're getting everything lined up with that. So, I did have one other question. I'm sorry to go back, but how much is the timeline you're looking with this whole thing, just so council has an idea?
For the entirety for the whole thing, we haven't got there yet. We opened a discussion later, but just for phase one, we wanted to get done with this by the end of this fiscal year, just for phase one.
Okay, got it.
So
So,
we can open discussion like later on and maybe meet later on to determine like a timeline.
okay, so by the end of this fiscal year, so we're just looking a few more months getting that one done.
But to piggyback on that, is phase one anticipated to be the longest phase to complete, or?
The shortest.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So we'll be able to take each one. Please keep the council, okay?
Yes.
Let us know so we can make sure that we have a timetable.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to D, and this is consideration and possible action concerning Resolution 2533, a resolution of City Council of the City of Lytle authorizing the submission of a grant to the Texas General Land Office for the Resilient Community Programs, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such submission, and providing an effective date. Zach?
All right, so Mayor and Council, another task order I think we issued either last council meeting or the one prior was for pursuing a grant application with the General Land Office for the Resilient Communities Program. This is for the comprehensive plan that we will be hopefully awarded money for. It is a very lengthy process and a lot of time put into it. I've started working with Kimley Horn on kind of everything that's needed for it. And obviously just one of the easy checkbox things is to get an actual resolution authorizing the submission of the application. And so that's what this resolution does. So very simple, which we've done on other grant opportunities. that
So
we've
this,
had.
just for terms, this is also known as the comprehensive,
Yes. Comprehensive plan.
comprehensive plan.
Yes.
Okay, just so you kind of have an idea, because we've talked about it in different terms. So this is basically just forecasting out, prioritizing everything that goes along with that. So,
Mayor, I'd like to start by making a motion to approve Resolution 25-33, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lido, Texas, authorizing the submission of a grant to Texas General Land Office for Resilient Communities Program, providing an incorporation of preamble authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such submission, providing effective date today of June the 23rd, 2025.
okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Got a second? Thank you, Anna. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, council. Motion carries forward. Let's go ahead and move on to E, consideration and possible action concerning Resolution 2534, a resolution in the City of Lytle, Texas, renewing the investment policy of the City of Lytle, Texas. Zach.
Mayor and council, just as the caption says, this is just a renewal of the existing investment policy that we have for the city of Lytle. No changes from the last version that was seen back in June 2024. And so really it's just a best practice and really kind of required by some of our investments now that we are in tax pool as well. And so that's why it's before you all this evening.
So once a year, we'll see this.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion approving Resolution 25-34, a resolution for the City of Lytle, Texas, renewing the investment policy of the City of Lytle, Texas.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. Thank you. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Thank you. Motion carries forward. Let's move on to F. Consideration and possible action concerning the approval of Texas Municipal League TML health insurance rates 2025-2026 for the City of Lytle, Texas employee benefits.
All right, so Mayor and Council, following the special council meeting for the budget last week and the direction that was given at that time, we're presenting the TML health insurance rates for the 25-26 year for the city of Lytle. It is a 6.7% increase for the health. Dental and vision are staying the same. So there's no change there, no change in the actual plan that we currently have as well. And so we just, as usual, we just need to approve this change going forward.
And council, just a reminder, we're getting this in front of you before we complete. That way we already have a little bit more black and white in our budget of what we're actually targeting, so we can, when we start making some of those other decisions, we already have something in place. Okay?
This does not affect if changes are going to be made as well in the budget for this healthcare, or is this going to set it as well?
The healthcare will be set by this. Any other salary or anything else is completely separate conversations.
I mean, because it's not a secret that I'm always against payroll. I mean, I've sat here many times. However, the health benefit is something that the city deserves to have. And I think Chief Priest made it very clear that a lot of the workers do rely on this.
Yeah.
I know there was options in there for family care. We had on, spouses.
Yeah, so in the options that were presented to you last week, those options were only related to various changes, either to deductibles or out-of-pocket maximums, things like that, that would potentially, be a decrease to the how much we would be paying as the city portion. But the options at various levels of including dependent coverage were not explored and have not been presented. I don't even have that from them. I'd have to request that. If that's something that council wants to look at, we can definitely delay this conversation, but I do know that they want these really by July 1st. So the problem would be, making sure we get that.
No, I mean, this is good. This is covering the last year's coverage. All right.
And the 6.7 is across, everybody is.
Yeah, well, anybody, yeah. So as a board, TML, our rep met with me, obviously before we presented it last week. On a whole, they went up about 2%, but obviously cities go up and down from that, right? I was just at the TCMA conference this weekend talking to, fellow city managers and stuff, and I had one that went up like 20%, and they're in TML as well. So, I mean, I think account 6.7% is pretty dang good. We did go up a little bit last year. It's naturally trending that direction every year. But I think part of it is, we have a decent plan and we're also one of, their oldest clients. And that's why it keeps our rate a little bit
No,
more
I was just
steady.
going to say that our tenure, I think there's,
45.
I think we have, how many years?
It's 45 years is the
Yeah.
last. Yeah.
So we're one of the original ones
Yes.
that got, yeah, we're in the Hall of Honor and we continue with them. And because,
Well, I think it's reflective in how much they increase our rates every,
They keep us at a lower level. So,
Here, I want to make a motion to approve Texas Municipal League PML health insurance rates for 2025 through 2026 for the city of Lido, Texas, employee benefits.
got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
A second? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No nays. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to G, consideration and possible action concerning authorizing city administrator to close certificate of deposit, account ending 1701, and certificate deposit, account ending 2646 at Lido State Bank with funds totaling $6,079 to 36 cents and $165,226.94 respectively. Zach.
All right, so Mayor and Council, just as like we've done in the past, we have 2 additional CDs maturing in July. And so before we hit that month, figured to get ahead of it and bring it to y'all's attention. Obviously, as Council kind of directed before, and as we're recommending closing these particular certificates of deposits, and obviously placing those in Textbowl where we can get some higher interest on those investments. Both accounts seem to be started with the idea of some sort of community center leaning in them. So you have the first one, the Lido Museum Fund, and the second one was the Wanjura Fund. So the recommendation would be to commit it obviously to the general fund, but with the idea that would be stuck in actual community center portion of the general fund. So without any motion, I would hope that it would include that as well. So
Can we just commit it to the general fund?
you can.
That we talked about last time.
The problem. So
Yeah.
there are some of the CDs that we've closed, we have already kind of set aside in various departments within the general fund. If you recall, all departments are in the general fund except for, our public works with water and sewer. So, but it helps kind of track appropriately where those funds are being taken care of. So those that I think the last time this came forward, it was kind of unclear because there was no name tied to the CD or anything like that. In that, it was just general fund. I would say for these where the money seemed to be intended for that purpose, I would prefer that they be general fund with that caveat of.
One of the things that we learned with some of these is some of these are money that was not only from us, but some of these were donations that were made specifically for.
I can comment, the one year, I was involved, like my grandfather donated the property to users on. 1 year donated a lot of money, but they put $100,000 in a CD. Now, I understand back then, 84 and the 80s, anything like that, you could get 12-15%. So the theory was that CD, interest off that CD would provide for the upkeep of the community center. Of course, obviously now, interest is, that's the CD is not. But that's where that came from. That's why it's called,
So we can put it in the general fund, but I would advise council that
Earmark
we
it.
actually keep the same earmark that we have, just we can use it for that purpose. Okay.
All right, Mayor, I'm ready to make a motion on this.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, Richie.
I move that we do authorize city administrator to close certificate of deposit account ending 1701, certificate of deposit account ending 2646 at Laurel State Bank with funds totaling $63,079.36 and $165,226.94, including earmark for the first mentioned amount of $63,079.36 toward the Lytle Museum Fund, and the second amount of $165,226.94 earmarked for the Community Center Winera Fund.
Thank you. Got a motion on the floor.
No,
Second. Richard, thank you for the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and go into our last action item under that category. H, consideration and possible action concerning the final rankings of council priorities for fiscal year 2025 and 2026.
All right, so at the dais, I printed out for y'all as well a copy of.
It looks like this.
Yes,
It's right in front of you.
the final 7 ones. And speaking with the mayor, we wanted to just have these kind of top 7. These kind of stuck out. We're very close in ranking in some of them even tied. And so wanted to make sure that we have a chance just to speak to them and get a true final ranking on these top 7 from y'all this evening, and then I'll take those, calculate them, and send that out.
I
So
think what we wanted to do is just describe, now that we're into the black and white, this is where we really, the previous one was just cut it short, and now we have the priorities. We want to just cover them, Zach, just a little bit, give a little bit of background, and then you can actually go ahead and rank order your number 1 to number 7.
7 was
Number 7 would be the last one to be able to do that. So some of these right in here, some of these have actually been on here for years. Some of these have already been worked on, maybe taken care of, but they're still priorities, and based on the ranking, we got to look at them individually. So the first one was the stormwater and drainage. This is one that was added, it was 2 years ago.
probably 2 years ago. Probably was intended for the ultimate stormwater fund that ultimately got created. So that's a very stormwater and drainage is a very overarching, kind of category. But I think that's why it was first brought forward as
So we brought it forward when we were having issues in different neighborhoods. We brought it forward because it was determined that we were going to need to do a study. That's when we figured out that there was no way we could apply for certain grants because we did not have a plan. So we put a priority on it and said we need to take care of that. So that's the reason why that one is there. You all know where we're at now, okay, with that, in the sense of being able to take care of. And we just finished taking action on one of the items of getting the plan taken care of. Water infrastructure repairs and replacement. Honestly, that one was mine. That's years ago. That's been on there. And I want to say thanks to Matt for helping us get started with some of these projects, different things that we've been taking care of. There was repairs that needed to be done. In here included all of that right over there. All that needed to be taken care of. And those are the things. Right now we have the project, the 12-inch main, which is one that needs to be. It's already being worked on, being taken care of. You know, Public Works is taking care of all the little miscellaneous things, still working with the project that Matt helped us out with the 132 project. Got that grant to be able to take care of that. That's part of that. So I'm just going to ask for Public Works and our city administrator, do we have any other projects that deal with that, with repairs and replacement that we know of?
So I would say major projects, no. Obviously, we will continue to do our job and repair as things happen, but that's the natural thing that
We got the water
have to do.
tower going up
Yeah.
too. That's already included in there too. Just so
But
you-
large scale projects, once the ones that are currently active, the booster pump, the
Yep.
elevated storage, and the 12-inch line, there's really not major projects, at least known at this point, on the horizon for us. So.
Pete, we're good? Okay. Just make sure. So there's a background on that one, so you have an idea. Replacement or maintenance of water valves around the city. This one was from the very beginning. I think, Pete, you were involved, many, many years ago when we were sitting down and we were talking with Cruz, and we were having that discussion, right, about being able to take care of that. So one of the concerns that we have is that we want to make sure that we have functioning valves in different places, so we could actually isolate the different locations. Luckily, we've been able to figure some of them out, right, Pete? Some of us like, well, you turn this one, it affects this one, and then turn that one, it affects that. So we've been able to figure certain things, but it still requires, we still have some sectors in our city that need to be taken care of. In other words, so we need to go ahead and figure out what's going on with valves and take care of the valves. Maybe in a sense of replacement and stuff like that. Is that correct? Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. Because the better that we have those opportunities, the better it's going to be for us. So we don't have to shut down the whole city to be able to do a job. We can isolate it and be able to take care of it, just like we've done it here recently, as we've been able to figure out some of the valves. But that we do have some valves that need to be replaced. So that's the background on that one. Okay. Comprehensive plan. Well, it's just like we just took care of it right now. Is that correct? Zach?
Yeah, at least submission of the grant, right, for that. So obviously, hopefully we'll get that money secured by the General Land Office. Kimley Horn's group that's helping us feels pretty confident. But yeah, that's what that project would be.
Yeah, and that one is important because it defines how the city's going to move forward, where we're looking for things to be at, how do we want zoning. That's the reason why you have the code updates completion. That one drives the other to be able to take care of that. Is that correct?
That's
Zach?
correct.
So that's what that plan is being able to get ourselves to that position. We're in a good position right now, but we need to start thinking about the next 10 years.
Yeah, typically it's anywhere from 5 to 10 is normally where you see them nowadays. I'll say one of the big things is that the current comp plan doesn't contemplate any of the development that we've already seen, on the other side of 35. So, very critical that this is the time we do this, because we're obviously going to continue to see additional development.
And that one
on
was
that.
made for this year, right?
Correct. It expires technically 2025.
So we're kind of a little bit behind, but we're right there where we need to be. I've actually talked to some communities that are actually like 3 or 4 years after the other one expired.
That's not
I
untypical.
see Austin.
Not
nodding his head.
untypical.
So we are we're in a good position, okay, in the sense that we want to be and being able to.
Some
take
don't
care of
even
that.
have comp plans.
Yeah.
So.
Some of them don't have comp plans. That's true.
Zach, what's our backup if we don't get this grant? Because it's not cheap.
It's not. I think if, let's say we don't get the grant, I think I would come back to y'all, and we'd probably look to just go out for bid and see what kind of numbers come back. And depending on if that's something at that time council feels we really need to tackle, and take care of, we go and find the money, right? Like within our coffers. So that would be, I guess, right now, plan B, because I don't know what else, honestly, if this opportunity, that's what we'd have to do now, right?
Right.
So.
We got a good vibe, but
Yep.
anything can happen. wastewater treatment plant. As you all know, council, we've already spent the 1.2 million to get our plants done. All that is taken care of. Now we're actually looking at the next phase, which is basically building it. So that's the big one. That's about 15 mil.
Say 15 to 16 right now is where we're hearing numbers.
So that one, we don't have the funding. So that one is something that we need to take care of, and that's part of something that we need to do. Our current wastewater treatment plan, that we're not at 75%. We've actually are ahead with the permitting and everything, with the plans that we already took care of. We're way ahead because we're talking years leading into building. But now we're at a point right now where we need to go ahead and get the funding for that. It needs to happen at this point. We need to get the ball rolling for that. Okay. New water well. So that one was a recent ad. Is that correct?
Yeah, so in looking at the existing CIP, it does anticipate in the next couple years having to, in addition to the one we did back in 21, 22, an additional water well. With all the growth and everything going on, that was the anticipation, and it was put in the CIP for that. So I think that's why that one was added. Obviously, we are trying to continue to try to bring well 2 as that secondary, but we know that's only going to last for so long, even if we do get it up and running. And so I think at some point, it definitely is, we do need to look. Both this one and the previous wastewater treatment plant were built into the water and wastewater study that you saw last week, as far as potential debt going forward to look at. So, yeah.
And the one thing with this, I want to give credit to the previous council over here. This one was a good thing that they did for us. So where we currently have well number 4, in that location, it was not big enough to where we can actually touch the next well. So we already have a property more about the designated place where we're actually going to do it, and we already have the infrastructure to be able to connect. So I think the council did a great job of being able to do that. But it's basically taking the next step, which is the engineering, should be pretty similar to what we did before. It's more the engineering of tying in to our current, and then getting it up and running. So, but we're going to need to plan and figure that out. So just based on in the future. Right now, we're still good. I think the biggest thing that we have is the elevated storage tank and the possibility of a booster station.
Yeah, so that bid is out right now. So we that bid will be closing in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what kind of pricing we get after. If y'all recall, we made the switch to bid this out with AG3 instead of TRC on this one. So we'll see what we get here in the next couple of weeks.
And that'll
So.
help us be able to balance the city out. So a little bit more capacity to that pressure and everything else. Okay, so that's what one of the water well is. And then the last one is street paving. And that's basically just the whole city. And we had a few sections in there. We had miscellaneous ones, say paving in the Y, doing this other street, but it's just miscellaneous street paving based on conditions in different places in the city. And I mean, we can be sitting down here like 30 years from now, we'll be talking about street paving. I mean, it never stops. There's always going to be, it's a lot of wear and tear in our roads. And just so you know, we have the 12-inch main that is going to be installed, so there's going to be a little bit of movement in there. But a lot of the stuff that we needed to take care of that we were worried about, except for one thing, Public Works has done a great job getting us to that point, because we were worried about some of these tie-ins and some of the things that we were actually doing, whether or not we were tearing things up and then you pave it and then you cut it up, right? Not to be able to do that. So, but that's overall just street paving. So with that in mind, if we can go ahead and just take a few minutes right now, if you guys can go ahead and rank order your 1 through number 7, number 1 being your top one, number 7 being the least, and then go ahead and provide it to Zach. Okay? Take your time to go ahead and take that.
So with the exception of the miscellaneous street paving, there's really only 2 items left open, and that's the wastewater treatment and the new water well. everything's already in consideration.
Some of them are already in
Various
works.
stages. Yeah.
So the only two that are left open is the wastewater and the new water.
I'm with you, but we voted, we put it in there, so now we gotta treat, everybody made inputs, we took a look at it. I just wanna make sure that we're open, right? Everybody looked at it and talked about it, so.
I provided. It's probably underneath your thing there. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
prioritize it in there based on your wishes, and then go ahead and hand it over to Zach. Once you have that taken care of, we'll go ahead and, you want a name on it? No. No name. No name. Okay. We do it as a group, that's how it works. So, that'll be good. And then we'll go ahead and tally them up later, and then we'll chat. This is our input. This is also going to drive council, the reminder, this is our priority, so this kind of drives our focus when we start looking at budgeting and opportunities in the future based on whether money is available and there's going to be money that we're going to find. And the second reason that we started doing this is something that Matt helped us out with. The reason that we started doing this is to focus our staff in certain areas so we don't have them going all over the place. We give them our priorities and say, this is what we need you to be working on for the next year. Next year, we're going to do the exact same thing again. Okay? We'll be doing the same thing. So next year, when we're sitting down, hey, some of these we feel we want to take them off, we can scratch them off. The council has to recommend that. Okay? We can scratch them off and we can make the list and then we can tidy up. But we need to do this. Okay? We got everybody's?
Everybody's been yours.
All right. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. Okay, what time is it right now? Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 9, and this is executive session. This is the city council, the city of Lido may convene an executive session in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Code, section 551.071, consultation with the attorney, and section 551.074, personnel matters, to discuss and consider the following items. A, possible purchase of properties within the city of Lido, and B, employment, evaluation, and reassignment duties, principal and dismissal of the public officer or employee, city administrator. So, let's go ahead and show.
Sorry, one other note is on, so I don't hear.
Yes.
So we're also going to be back there under 551072 to talk wheels.
551072, real property, right?
Real property.
Okay. Thank you, Austin, appreciate that. We'll make a note of that, make sure all of them. So let's go ahead and show right now, it is 7:28, and council, if you can meet and Zach.
Mayor.
We're good? Okay. Okay, Paola, if you can actually go ahead and show us, it is 8:38. You show us back, returning from executive session, no action taken in the back. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 10, discussion and possible action regarding matters discussed in executive session.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I move that we authorize the city administrator to finalize the purchase of the property at 18515 Farm to Market Road 2790 at the price of $220,000.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That'll be good. Let's start working on that now. Take the next steps. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Item number 11. So this is department reports, and the first one that we have is the city secretary. All
Here's my report for May. We have collected $16,000 for the ad valorem with a total of $1,122,000 for the month of May, or for the year to total. Nothing in the beer and wine, but we do have a total of $235 for the year. These were some of the meetings that I had and some of the trainings that I had. Had a couple with the Alamo chapter holiday. And we had the request for the month of May. We have 2 outstanding. Fulfill the other 2, and usually we have 10. For the agendas that were published for 3, we had minutes completed, also 3. We had 1 ordinance that was passed and 2 resolutions that were passed for the month of May. And our upcoming event will be 4th of July. We do have the Edwards Aquifer Authority who sponsor the giveaways. Whatever I purchase for the giveaway, they actually sponsor that. And of course, fireworks are sponsored by Waste Management and the City of Lima. I did get that.
But they're paying a portion of it, right?
So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the city's paying the bigger portion of it.
Yes.
Yep, yep, yep.
So that's all I have. I don't have a lot in mind.
Any of those public release, just standard, nothing out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Council?
The giveaways you're talking about, these are trinkets you're going to hand out at the 4th of July thing?
So I purchased some stuff to give away to the kids and everybody that goes out there, and they actually cover that part. And they're still gonna give me some other stuff that's from Edwards Aquifer.
Okay,
So they'll be giving me like other pieces,
okay, cool.
extra stuff.
Thanks.
Can you check the city website and make sure all our postings are up to date in the bottom section where to know, yeah, make sure everything is posted.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think there, and if, on the marquee,
Yeah, the pieces.
Yeah, they got the mark.
we have the 4th of July? Yeah. So it might be good to, yes.
I did send it to the newspaper also so they can publish it. So they can have it.
We've been sending reminders too, and I know Rich has done a good job every week. He talks about it too. So it'll be good. Should be good.
I think it's gonna be
Food
good.
trucks. We got the funnel cake.
No.
We're working on the funnel
Working on
cake.
that still.
I did the funnel cake.
Yes, sir.
Everybody asked for the funnel cake.
Oh, I know. I'm the one that asked for it too, so.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks. Bob.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That should be good. All right.
All right. Blow through mine real quick here. No real update on this. The 12-inch water main loop, it's not on here, but do want to highlight that ACE Construction has actually already started on the work on Railroad Street for that project. They've already put in the water line from Prairie all the way basically behind Topi's. It's already in. So yeah, they've been blowing and going on that project, which is great. So they did run into a little bit of issue today with a tree that we're trying to figure out, boring and all that kind of stuff. But so, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, they're going crazy. So, which is great.
Please,
Yes.
the tree there, that tree's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, and the tree. I'm just saying, the roots, trying to get to our water line and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth paying a little extra and put a little casing.
Yeah, Scott's going to be out here tomorrow. We're going to go all take a look at it and kind of strategize how we got to do it. The plans had intended to bore around it, but then you run into the issue with the gas line being there as well. So there's a lot going on in that area. So we're just trying to make sure that obviously we want to do everything we can to make sure this tree is saved. So that's our
I'm
intention.
also concerned about the tree growing.
Growing eventually, yes.
That's
Yeah,
12-inch line. That's
Yeah.
like
for sure.
So
For
also
sure.
taking care of the water line too.
Yeah. So that's it on that portion. The booster pump, just to go back slightly. So as I indicated earlier in the meeting, that one is out to bid already. And in the next couple of weeks, we should be getting people's bids on that. Tomorrow morning, I have a pre-bid meeting on Zoom with anybody that's interested to be on there from the contractor side. So that one's moving forward. Elevated storage tank, they have been working out there, getting kind of site prep generally out there. So it'll be a while before we see anything kind of up in the air, but they are doing what they need to do out on the site there out in Rosewood. So moving along on that. No update on Saddle Ridge. On Rosewood, we have 58 complete, 31 under construction, and 3 under review. So they're slowly just ticking off those ones that they have there that are under construction and moving those to completed. Lido Farms, I did add on here that TxDOT did approve the turn lane and associated water line. They're going to be basically taking a 12-inch line from that particular entrance that you see down to across the Rosewood second entrance 12-inch. So they'll be replacing what's in the line, and that was all to do with their development, not on us. So for future development wise, though, that helps out on that side of town, getting that upgraded to a 12 there. So, but that TxDOT approval just happened this last week. So you'll probably start to see crews generally in that area. They're going to start on the water line portion because they can stay out of the roadway for that. And then at some point they'll move to trying to push traffic into the middle lane while they work on the turn lane out there.
Please let us know so Richie and I can get stuff out.
We'll do.
Anytime, let everybody know.
Permit data. So you see the applications received for the month. Quite a bit coming in, and then issued for the month of May as well. Nothing really, sticking out here. Inspections that should say May. I apologize, but so this has been updated for May. 6 building, 4 mechanical, 9 electrical, 9 plumbing. Again, most of these are for related to the homes or various inspections with the new homes. 2 COs and then 2 certificate of compliances, 1 on solar and 1 on a carport that was added to a residential home. On court side, Ashley did pass 2 of 3 sections of her court 1 exam, so I did want to highlight that. They did actually change the rules now where you don't have to pass every single section. And then if you don't pass every section, you have to retest to do the whole test over again. They changed it where you just have to test on the sections you missed now. And she actually took that on Friday, the section she missed. So we're obviously fingers crossed that she gets that done and off her plate, which is great. And then again, Brianna will move to go to court boot camp in July next month. And then eventually, if she feels comfortable to test as well, then we'll obviously push that as well. So total transactions, again, apologize, but it should say May, and I'll update that before it goes on the website. 162, and then you see on the other side the violations and citations compared to the disposed for the month of May. City contracts, no real update here. Same usual thing. I will say CPS has kind of gone silent on us as far as the billing issue. I'll continue to keep it on there if we hear anything, but because as far as we're aware, it's still out there. Our attorney is aware of the issue, and we kind of have a strategy, and probably good that we're not hearing from them for our purposes. So we'll just continue to live under that assumption and as we go on. As far as meetings on the left, projects, obviously we approved the task order tonight for the master drainage plan, so they'll get started on that. Friday, I had a recent conversation with our engineer, Cobb Finley, working on the connection, the interconnection with East Medina. They finally got with East Medina's engineer to give them some specs. And so hopefully we'll figure out where exactly we can make that connection now going forward and start working on that. The water wastewater rate study, finalizing that based on recent conversation, obviously, that we had last week. And then obviously the gathering data by Cobb Finley on the capital improvement plan. The sidewalk project, I still haven't found out if Ace Construction got it for sure, but we assume that that's what's going to happen out here, which helps our project out with the water line. And then the plugging of well 3, we did have that change order that was submitted and approved, I guess last meeting or the meeting before. I will say with that, they've been out a couple times. They're actually finding quite a bit of oil, more than they anticipated in the well. And so what they're having to do, and I signed it today, is only about $1,900, but they are going to have to bring a vacuum truck in so that they can continue to pour cement down appropriately. So we will have another change order that comes, but way under what the price was originally still.
Maybe we might have to frack it.
Yeah, I wish we could use it somehow, but yeah.
Does all this information go back to TCQ and
Yes.
Edwards?
And Edwards, yeah. So Edwards has been involved, especially with this one. And UWR is in contact with Edwards as they've been working out there. And then I'm communicating with TCQ on that front as well. So, but we're still anticipating, I think they're going to be out either tomorrow or Wednesday to start with those vacuum trucks and then the cement. So here in the next couple of weeks, that project should be completed and off our books, which is great. So
The one that you said you're finding oil in, it's the second one, right? Going that way.
it's the first one you come to
And it
on
could be that
2790.
some of that Keller's oil get in there, no?
Yeah, that would be the next well.
Oh, that's the next one.
Potentially.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know. So, but that one, I think, as the mayor probably could tell you, was when he came into office. I mean, that one was always never brought on because of the smell that it produced and various things of sulfur related. So I think it's probably that was just put in the wrong place, and we just needed this taken care of. So, but yeah, just an update on that.
It's been an open violation for
Several years. We'll put it at that. Long time. Finance director still posted. Gotten a few applications, but and I'm in contact with the mayor obviously on those as I get them, but nothing really experience wise or that we're seeing on that. I'm actually gonna re-highlight it on TML again just to shove it to the front again because and I will tell you there's a lot of finance jobs out there right now. There's a lot of jobs across the board on municipal, but finances does seem to be a big, and we got ones around us that are looking as well, which doesn't help the pool. So public works foreman, we've continued to talk about that and the code compliance officer. So that's all I got on my end.
The actual postings on the city website and the city spotlights, maybe you can do a general reference to positions being available.
Well, they were on there at one point in the spotlights, but I think over time we've probably expired. So we just need to republish them again and get them back out there again for any of those. So yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there shouldn't be any reason why we can't. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. that's all I got, unless y'all got any questions.
Once again, anything you need us to send out there, let us know so we can Richie and I here to take care of that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to item number 12, informational items. Anything? Can you give me the flyer for the July outreach? Okay. Take a look at it.
Like Zach said, they tried the water line. They're supposed to bore tomorrow, but they pushed it to Monday. Someone said that I did. So they gotta bore underneath the road, so that could be next week. They're doing it wrong pretty good.
Well, that's good.
Tomorrow they'll start, they'll set a retreat, and then take off.
We just keep going. Wow, that's fast.
Faster than we thought. I honestly didn't realize they were out there, and he told me today, and I was like, what? We're already that far.
Yeah, they started Thursday.
And they said they're gonna do, once we get everything connected, it'll be a hot tap, right? So, be transparent. If everything goes well. On a Monday through Wednesday, no Thursday or Friday, no Thursday, Friday. We don't do it through that. Anyways, all right. Back over here. Sandra, anything? Richie? Nothing. Matt? Austin? Anna?
Enchiladas
A lot of plate this
this week,
Saturday.
this Saturday. Come on, get them.
You good?
Get them while they're hot.
$10?
$10. I think. I just sent it to you again.
You good?
$10.
Nothing? Okay. So,
Yeah.
few things.
For you.
These are the orders. Got a few things just to go ahead and cover. First of all, you guys have taken care of a few more leaks and stuff. Are those two done, the ones on the map?
Well, we got another one Friday on Oak Street.
Okay, so that's the one right there. And the one,
Some of those are active, like Bruce over there in the manufactured home park is, it's open, and we got the parts.
We just got the parts.
okay,
So some of them are actively
so
working.
you're taking
We're
care of.
working on it this one.
So thanks for taking care of those. Appreciate that. Get her done. That'll be good. Thanks, Zach, for the community center. I got a chance to go over and spend a little bit of time and great updates over there. You walk into the restrooms and now no more wallpaper. They look a lot better in there. The backsplash wall in the community center is a lot better too. And the AC works really, really good. Extremely well. I think we're gonna need to kind of adjust it a little bit. A little bit too cold. I think they brought it down too much. It's like it's a little bit too cold in there. But that worked out really good. So thank you for that. Want a little shout out to PD. They've been helping us out. Richie, you told me it was 64 signs.
Yeah, I think Danny and, right, we got
64 signs. So we have folks that like to go and put on the road signs in different places, buy this, sell that, and do this, do that, and then they just sit there. So they, I got pretty busy there, and that day, Richie was able to get them out there, and that was 64 signs that they took down and stuff, because they're not supposed to be putting them in there. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, we still have that place on traffic like stop signs and stuff, and of course, that's obviously, those are my priority, are yield signs, because that's a safety issue, so some of the others are placed in the right of way in different areas, and they just pay these people to go out and put them up, and, so we take them down, and, they never come looking for them. So
It's like Richie said before, they put them in places, and you have to look around them for the intersection, because they're not blocking too. So it's a good thing to be able to take care of that. So thanks for doing that. Stay tuned on a few things with adjustments. We've had some of the state bills that passed, and I wanted to let the council know one of them that did pass is probably, and we're going to get some help, is how far in advance we actually advertise our meetings.
Yeah, so there was a change that it's 3 business days, like you have to post the agenda now. Well, it always used to be 72 hours. So it's we're figuring it out.
So I don't think we were trying to figure out the date, but eventually there's going to be a.
Yeah, so certain days, there's
So the legislation closed in June, basically, the government is 2 days a week to sign those, so it's not like, yeah, we should have just said that. And then between now, a lot of them take effect September 1st or January 1st, or the two most common dates. But between now and then, and now that they're active, not effective, is when if anyone's gonna file a lawsuit over it. If it's confusing at all, we'll start issuing guidance. So,
And I will say, so TML did a session this weekend while I was at TMA on the legislative update. It's a real short one, obviously, but on that particular agenda one, there was the way they read it, because it says business days instead of hours now. Theoretically, you could post it at like 11:59
That's not
on
a
that
question.
third day, before. So I mean, we have all the way until the very evening of whatever day that is, to post the meeting. So I don't know. There's a lot of complexity to it. Trying to figure out. TML will issue various opinions. There's changes, as there always is every
So
2
there-
years. So.
There'll be changes for that. There's a few other things out there. There'll be some changes. Just we'll bring you up to speed just so you'll know. So there might be a little bit of adjustment. So stay on top of that. We'll keep you look abreast of that in case you hear something like that. Wednesday, Richie's going to help us out, and we're going to concentrate on getting the siren to work over at the wastewater treatment plant. So we're going to be testing sirens this Wednesday. Just so you know.
Plug in there.
Talking to Ryan, or I think we're
Plug it
gonna
up.
disconnect all the other ones first.
We're going to disconnect.
That's what he talked about.
Good. Perfect.
And see if we can get that one to work, and then I'm still working on that new program, and maybe do it all for
Cool. So we're getting there. We'll get that one going. That'll be good. Thank you for all your help. 4th of July event, just like Paula mentioned, please get the word around. People are asking questions, so we'll just keep pressing, letting folks know.
Free
I did
food.
get a few folks, actually a couple of folks this weekend that were asking about, can they bring their grills out there? And I said,
Come on.
there's already some grills out there. We don't need to create, because then you have to worry about the safety and the kids and everything else. So there's some grills already in the right place. If you want to grill, you can actually use those for grill and stuff. I think that's what we have done in the past, right? Use what is there, but don't add to the area, because if you show up with a big old grill in your park, and now now you got to quarantine the whole area to not have any kids. You want to do that.
And they leave mess.
I will tell you, if you go right across the street in Oak Street, there's plenty of houses there that don't mind. They get together. It works out really good. July the 17th, the community outreach. Zach, we're working on another fogging with mosquitoes too.
It should be Wednesday. Sorry, yeah.
There you go. So we're going to do it again. So try to.
And they will drive the whole city. They didn't have a map of the whole city last time, so they do have that now with some of the new subdivisions. So.
We need to spend a little bit more time in different places. So Adams Street is getting. Tell you all that area.
That shit around the creek area, water places.
Yeah.
Go to
So,
my ranch too.
Yeah, we got plenty of places. But we've actually done pretty good. There's a lot of communities around here that haven't even done. We already did one.
I'll leave the gate open and y'all can go to my house.
Gets lost, doesn't turn around.
Yeah.
Birthdays, we got 14th of July, something like that on there. And then we actually have on the 21st, we got Cassandra in Austin right around the corner too. We got a couple more birthdays coming up in July. So July month, not too much on that one. It's funny how you have certain months you got lots and then not a lot. So it all works itself out. Okay, I know some of you, just if you haven't heard, our girls did not make it past Divine, so they're for softball. So it's a little sad. I was hoping that they actually continue, but very proud of them. They've done really, really good this year being out there. The boys did too.
Natalia winning. Natalia's winning.
Natalia's winning. Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're going to the next round.
Who would they be?
No, I think they play. I don't know. Yesterday they played Pleasanton, so they beat them 1 point. But now they go to the next one, which is going to be at either Blossom Stadium or somewhere. It's going to be in San Antonio.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, these are all in Georgia.
That's where they were. That's where they were yesterday. They won. The
All
girls.
the best. All the best to everybody who gets a chance to go ahead and continue to compete. Works out. Okay, anything else last minute? Nope. Okay, so with that in mind, it is 9:03. Oh, no, wait a minute. I gotta ask for a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion that we end this meeting.
Okay.
I'll
Got a motion.
second.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Any opposed?
Nay.
9:03 it is, and there's goods back there? Okay, that goods back there, so make sure you get something. Austin, thank you again for your help, I appreciate it.
So they did reschedule your surgery?
22nd.
Get out of the essence.
Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
Tuesday.
Try to draw.
Oh, that's July.
Yeah, July.
Okay.
I leave Wednesday to Pennsylvania. You had a hip done?
Hmm?
Yeah, hip done yet?
Oh, no.